Hey everyone, welcome to our presentation. We're very excited to take you through some best practices and learning that we have about engaging consumers, building experiences, and our plans to revolutionize the ski show experience and how you can build brand engagement and learn from some of the great things that we've done in the past. My name is Brian Stephenson. I am the director of the Snowbound Festival, formerly known as the BWE Festivals with SIA. And I am a longtime participant in the winter outdoor industry, started my career at Airwalk. Was lucky enough to work on the PepsiCo brand for many years with the Burton US Open of Snowboarding, Sobe Beverages, and Mountain Dew. And I'm also happy to have Julie Jatlow here, who she will jump in just a second and give you a little bit of her background as well. Just to give you a little bit of an idea about Snowbound Festival and what that is, if you're not already familiar. Snowbound and the Snowbound Festivals are positioned as the gateway to the winter outdoor lifestyle. It's a multi-platform destination that's going to be inclusive and inspirational for winter enthusiasts of all ages, skill levels, and backgrounds. You may have known these shows formerly as the BWE Ski and Snowboard Expos, which have been around 20, 30 years. Bernie Weichel had built a great legacy with those shows, and now we've rebranded them as the Snowbound Festivals. They are coming back, knock on wood, in late 2021. And we're very excited to bring those to life, as well as a full year digital component with snowboundfest.com. But with that all being said, I will turn it over now to Julie Jatlow from Fuse.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian. Hey, everyone. I'm Julie Jatlow. I am one of the partners at Fuse. I'm really excited to be here. I have been with Fuse for quite a while, but before I talk about that, I needed to mention that my career in marketing started in the ski and snowboard industry. So one of my first jobs out of college was at Stowe Mountain Resort. I still live there today, and I'm on the mountain as many days out of the winter as I can be. But as a marketer at the resort, I was exposed to ski and snowboard shows. Spent a lot of time in Boston, in particular, at the BWE show at the time. And so it's exciting for me to be on this panel with Brian and to be working with Snowbound and reimagining what's next for the ski show experience. So for those of you who don't know Fuse, we are a youth marketing agency. We are focused on authentic brand engagement. We get to work with a lot of great brands. You can see them listed there, but we get to help everybody develop and execute marketing strategies. Very much focused on building brand equity and driving sales. And we are also fortunate to be up in beautiful Burlington, Vermont. So let's dig into the presentation. We want to talk about changing the game. And before I pass it back to Brian, just wanted to set the stage and talk a little bit about the fact that we have a really big opportunity in front of us. And there's a lot at stake for the winter and outdoor industry. We want to really focus today on the concept of evolution and talk about bringing more folks into the fold and how we can do that. So I think when we talk about evolve today, we're really meaning, we're really talking about staying fresh, staying innovative, continuing to grow so that we can broaden our industry. So Bri, I'll turn it back to you so you can talk about the opportunity at hand.
Sounds good. Thanks, Julie. So we have a massive opportunity for the winter industry and for growing participation. And just a little bit more about my background. For the last 10 years, I had actually worked on some of the largest consumer pop culture events in the world, like New York Comic Con, Star Wars Celebration, and ComplexCon. So a lot of what I see here is very similar to whenever I started with ReedPop, and we took a small Comic-Con event in New York from 30,000 people up to 250,000 people over the course of 10 years. And so there's so many similar aspects to what we plan on doing with the Snowbound Festivals and just in general that mirror so much of what pop culture and those type of events did as well. At the start of this, I just want to say, events and face-to-face interaction matters. We've all gotten so used to being online and being virtual that I've got a theory, and people echo this theory that the time there was a major pandemic like this, it birthed to the world. And I think there's going to be a real hunger for live events, for face-to-face interaction with brands, and just for people to get outside, which we've all seen and we understand is happening, that people have a real hunger to engage with other people and to engage outside with the environment again. So that's really exciting, and that creates a massive opportunity for us to build something really meaningful that can increase participation. So part of that is building upon the heritage and legacy of the Pee Wee shows and what was established there. And if you can take and harness the community aspects of that and the legacy of that and the heritage of that, and couple that with, like Julie said, a freshness and a newness, and bring new technology and premium experience to that type of built-in audience, that's where things get really exciting, and they can set the stage to attract new audiences and to re-engage existing participants, get people hyped again about coming to the show, and then also engaging those new audiences, whether that's through art or music or lifestyle, and we'll talk about that, but bringing in content that will appeal to a wider, younger, more diverse audience that maybe has never felt like they could get outside or get on skis or get on snow. And it's finding those little nuggets of content and interesting things that people can have access to in a very real face-to-face sense whenever these events are able to come back. It's about broadening appeal as well, exposing the consumers that we have and then other consumers that are going to come for the first time to an event. And I'm talking specifically Snowbound, but this can apply to any event that you might have, if it's in a store or some sort of retail experience or an on-snow demo, whatever it might be. It's about exposing consumers and exposing them to your products, but also exposing them to the winter lifestyle. And we're going to be focusing much, much less on deals, discounts, specific type of technical features, and much more about culture, lifestyle, engagement. And that's really key to what we want to do, because so much of the event experience is giving people a reason to believe. It's adding meaning and relevance and letting them step into that experience and that life very real. At its core, it's really about a couple of things. It's about acceptance, it's about encouragement, it's about insights to what those people really want and what they want to experience and what you can expose them to. And it's about including them. It's about making them feel welcome. And we see events in particular and face-to-face experiences as that communal experience that's a celebration that brings people in, even if they've never gotten on a pair of skis or a snowboard before. And it's about changing those perceptions and expectations. We see the platform, the Snowbound platform specifically, but it can be any events or any experience, as an opportunity to have a platform for change. It's a platform for education, and it's a platform for engagement, because there's nothing better than feeling like you're able to step into an environment, you're able to step into a lifestyle and be accepted and have that shared experience with other people that are like-minded, that are into the same thing that you're into. It's about generating excitement, generating hype, and making people feel like they belong and that they're excited about something together as a community. So that's really where we see the opportunity for these events, and events in particular, to engage consumers, to broaden appeal, and to bring in a much wider audience for the first time. And I think in some ways, COVID is giving us this opportunity to really engage all of these new audiences and get them excited about getting outside, getting on snow, experiencing the winter, and celebrating everything that's great about this season and about what we love most.
Awesome. Brian, you're getting me excited. Yeah, you're getting me excited to attend some events. Cool.
Perfect.
Nice. So the next part of our presentation today is about knowing your audience. And if we go to the next slide, I love it, because what we've done is we've outlined all the names of the generations. We put how many people are in each group. We get to really box them up in this slide. And while I love it, I'm also not going to be spending time on all the demographics today. I think the headline is that we're really here to talk about which generations we want to really focus on and bring into our fold, right? We want all these people across all of these cohorts to come and join us in the winter industry at our engaging events, come into our stores, purchase our products. And the good news is that winter enthusiasts or outdoor enthusiasts are in all of these boxes. But if we go to the next slide, I think what we really want to focus on today and the heart of our conversation today is really about getting younger and future proofing or tapping into this younger cohort. And so when we talk about future proofing, we're really talking about, you know, making sure that as perhaps some of our enthusiasts are aging up or aging out, we want to make sure that we've got a gateway and a way for others to kind of fill the funnel and come join us. And so to do this, we need to understand what's really important to them. And I think Brian touched on that a little bit earlier as he started to talk about the opportunity and the vision for the future. And so what we want to do today is share some of those insights, talk to you all about how we're going to apply them to our work. Hopefully you'll come along for the journey and how we're going to reimagine this ski show experience in particular. And I think some of the key themes of today's presentation involve connecting through culture and lifestyle. That's some of my favorite stuff to talk about. Engaging in community, really diversifying and becoming more inclusive. Also, we'll be talking about the importance of CSR and cause marketing as well. So all the things that I know we can all get behind. So, first, let's talk a little bit about connectivity. And I think when we talk about that, we're not just talking about digital. I think a lot of us go right to digital. It's COVID times. We're probably all spending maybe a few hours too many a day on our devices. But connectivity is also really about face-to-face or in-person connections, right? IRL or in real life experiences. And this isn't just now in COVID times. Young people crave connection. It's just part of what they want. And so they, when we talk about that connection, they're craving being with friends, they're craving being social. They want to get outside and do things. They want social interaction. And I think they want events. They want to be at events. They want to post about events. They want unique experiences and they want to talk about it. And I think as it relates to a lot of you listening to us today, is they want to hear from brands as well, and they want to engage with brands and learn about new products, and really have that type of exposure. And so as we move forward, I think the idea here is that we really want to ensure that we are part of these digital and in-person connections, that we weave ourselves into those conversations. And I think a ski show experience can really be that special experience, both online and offline.
Yeah, absolutely. You're totally right, Julie. And so much of this is really about the convergence of culture and lifestyle. And so many things go into that, especially for the youth of today. Everything is so multifaceted, multidimensional in what people are consuming, what they're into. And it's always a moving target. We need to move at the speed of culture as an industry, but also with our experiences. Because so much of, if you think about everything that goes into the lifestyle that we all enjoy about being on snow, or being on skis, being on snowboards, or just being outside on snowshoes, whatever it might be in the winter, there's still all of these other aspects that come into play with that. Music and art and fashion and lifestyle and technology, and how that's impacting what everybody is doing and what they're consuming, and especially from a commerce standpoint. Great experiences, customer service, different types of products that are unique, capsule drops, different things that are happening to always keep that audience engaged and excited about what's happening. So you have to really, as Julie was mentioning, know your audience. you have to get face to face with them. Yes, you can do research online and get to know that, but nothing replaces having those direct conversations. Whether somebody is in your store, or you're doing a focus group, or you're just sharing a chair with somebody and asking them like, what's going on, what are they into for that season. And so much of this is really convergence culture. That's what this is about. It's the convergence of all of these different things, because as you think about just scrolling through the website, looking at products, you're consuming video, you're consuming just tons of things, and it all comes together. And that's what we want to encapsulate within an experience and build to that. And it's really content is everything in so many different ways for the youth of today.
Cool.
As part of this as well, and Julie, I know you've got some comments here also, is cause marketing, and that this matters to the youth of today. There has to be that power behind it, that they know that you're doing good things for the environment, for the world, for people, for inclusiveness. And so working with a variety of organizations that help the winter lifestyle, that promote the winter lifestyle, that bring more people into the industry, get more people participating, that's good for everybody. Julie, did you have some more to add there too?
Oh, you're doing a great job. I think
Okay.
all great organizations that are highlighted here.
Awesome. But yes, and all of this is content as well. And it's inclusiveness, and it's caring about the environment. And so aligning your brand with these ideals means that you care, and that you're authentic, and that you're passionate about when you're passionate about where we're going in the future. So really the audience and consumers are looking for that engagement. They're looking for that support, and they want to support brands that are also supporting the lifestyle that they love in a very real way.
Great. Great. So we're going to dig into content here a little bit. Content obviously comes in all forms, and there's definitely a lot to consider when you think about the word content. And I think as a business owner or a brand marketer or product developer, content is really a great way to educate or entertain, inform, engage, promote. At Fuse, we often get asked to create content, which we love to do. But I think one watch out is a lot of folks forget that thinking through the distribution is also critical to the content approach. And so you really need to think about where your content's going to be going, the format of your content, and make sure that you kind of dotted your I's and cross your T's when it comes to your content plans. And so we wanted to just share, a few ideas around content. If you look at some of the channels that are relevant today, a lot of those are up on the screen, social channels. You can see that each one has their own role in communication. And so, for example, Instagram is, the most engaging social channel. So deep engagement for young folks, and, very image-based. You've got Facebook is used oftentimes for information, for events and social sharing. Twitter, for example, is copy focused, very much about news and bots and streams of thoughts. And so I think as you think through, what channels you are going to be on, whether it's for your event or something else, you want to also think what type of communication is being pushed out. And planning for those assets is also critical. And it's a lot to think about, but it does give brands and shops and events access to people, and it gives people access to you. So, so it's really great. I'm always shocked by the fact that 65 videos a day are being watched by teens. So make sure that you are there. And also to connect all of this to the event experience, I think we talk a lot about having a pre, during, and post content communication plan. Also referred to as always on, but our younger consumers are definitely expecting this. They're getting their information from these channels, and it needs to be dialed in.
Absolutely. And to that point, thinking of each of these channels in a very different way, not just having one strategy that's blanket across all channels is not the way you want to go. You want to think about unique, how you break up your content, the stories you tell, and tailor that to each of the channels that you're going to be on. And upcoming next, we're going to show you a little video that created from my past world in the Comic-Con world. And just to set this up a little bit, I think the audiences are different. The winter lifestyle and winter outdoor audience is different than the pop culture audience, but they're equally as passionate. So, while they may look different, the strategy and tactics are the same.
Where there's this thing called family. Having so many people that represent so many different walks of life, it made me fall in love with this place so much more. I am always able to find like-minded fans at Emerald City Comic-Con. You are 100% allowed to be whoever you want to be. And I've made so many friends through the cosplay community. Seeing all of my friends getting their costumes and cosplays together and working on it throughout the year, I'm super beyond excited.
I love Emerald City Comic-Con. You really have this sense of tight-knit community within it. I've been able to make my own family.
It's a community that I am blessed to be part of, and if I hadn't had a friend drag me to my first convention, which was Emerald City, I think part of me would never be as happy as it is now.
It's sort of a physical space where creators and comic readers can come together and become a physical community.
Seeing local comic book artists who you've made costumes off of, you just gush over that kind of stuff.
Telling someone that you appreciate their work, they hear you and we're a shining gold star for them. Someone handed me a book to sign, and it was like the first printing of one of my creator-owned comics. Like, it was the best moment.
Comics are like a way to get ideas on kind of making the world better.
In comics, inclusivity is important. We want to, reach everybody. We want to show comics that have people from different backgrounds as characters, but also as creators.
We really value the diversity and the interest of everyone to be part of this, and it just builds a really strong community.
I appreciate Emerald City 100%. It's one of the things that I look forward to the most during the year. So thank you, Emerald City Comic-Con. I love you.
I love that.
Yeah. It's really powerful in so many ways, and it's something that I think I really appreciate us showing that video, because there's so many things. While the audience might look different and the content is different, the passion and the community feeling and the engagement that is built through experiences and through that face-to-face interaction is equally the same. And there's so many things that we can learn from that, I think, in a lot of ways. And it's thinking about the consumers, whenever you're thinking about an event, and the way that we're thinking about Snowbound is that it's their party. We're just building a framework for them to come and celebrate what they love most. And that is the winter lifestyle, getting outside, getting on snow with your friends, your family, and having that shared experience. And by doing that, that really builds that connectivity, that builds that engagement. And if somebody's not willing to go and purchase a lift ticket or get lessons for the first time or head up to a resort, coming to a smaller experience, or even if their friends are going, and just because there's a band playing, or they want to see a movie, or they want to check out or get a new jacket, whatever it might be, that opens the door to a much wider world that they can feel included in and a part of. And that's why these events and this engagement and how you approach consumers is so critically important, because if you do it well, they'll support you for life. And it's really just about knowing them, knowing what they want, and just doing more of that, and building things that they're going to care about and engage with. And I think that video really captures so much of that. All right. So we wanted to talk to you a little bit about what models for success look like. And this comes from several years of many years of work on specific experiences for consumers. And I use this model as part of what we're going to be doing in the future with Snowbound, but also this was what we called it the triangle of success for consumer events. So you have to have all 3 points of the triangle. It all starts at the top with passionate consumers. You have to have an audience that's passionate about something, whatever that might be. And they're underserved in the sense of there not being that community experience where they could gather together and celebrate what they really love and get to know other people that share the same passions that they do. You have to have that passionate audience that's excited about something and wants to engage something and is consuming all of that content regularly on the internet, and they want to have that in real life as well. Second piece of the triangle of success is industry support. You have to have an industry that will get behind whatever event that you're doing. In this sense, we're talking about a pop culture type of trade show, but also Snowbound, a ski experience. We have to have people that want to come to the show, want to exhibit, want to engage with consumers to either sell them products or build brand with them, or just engage them to learn more about consumers and about what they're into and what they could do in the future to engage them. But most importantly in the triangle is that you have to provide unique access to something. You have to provide access to something that they cannot get anywhere else. That could be exclusive products that you can only purchase during that event or have access to that at that event. It could be first access. So the first time that a new line of products is available would be at this experience. That access to product, exclusive product, or first access to that product is a big driver of engagement and excitement and press. So that's critical. But access is also just about access to a community that maybe they wouldn't be able to access otherwise, like in a very real sense, face to face, not just in forums or on Facebook or social media platforms. It's about that shared excitement of being face to face, having a conversation. But it's also access to industry icons, brands that maybe they would never get to see firsthand in person, just to be able to talk to their local reps or talk to the designer of this particular piece of soft good or hard good. And also athletes and icons. In the pop culture world, it was access to celebrities to where you could get your photo taken with them, get an autograph. Same with our industry and same with the winter industry. It's access to something that they would never get otherwise. And we call it a triangle because if you only have 2 pillars of the 3 points that you need, the event and the experience is going to be lacking in some way. You really have to have all 3 of these elements in order for the show to scale, for it to grow, to become impactful, and to be engaging to the community. So as you're thinking about this, these are really the 3 core pillars that lead to success. Next, I'll talk about all the P's. And there's a lot of P's in here. And there's a variety of marketing terms that kind of tie similarly to this. But the recipe for success and the triangle of success is really built on all of the P's that are here. First is passion. Everything that you do has to convey passion for subject matter, for lifestyle, for the content that you're creating, or whatever it is you're trying to communicate. It has to be done with passion. Like attracts like. Consumers respond to passion. They know if you're being authentic, and if you are authentically passionate about what you're proposing to them, whether it's a product or whether it's convincing them to purchase a ticket to come to your event or stepping foot into your store. It has to come from an authentically passionate place that you truly care and you understand, and you're as excited about something as that consumer is, and they'll respond to that. Then everything that you do, and this has become just so important, I can't stress this enough, and it's become even more important over the last 10 years, is everything that you do has to convey personality. You have to start with passion, but you have to convey passion in a way that people relate to on a personal level. You can be very straightforward with product details, and you can share your product story and your brand story, but it has to be done with a personality that reflects who you are and a personality that people want to engage with. A lot of people do this in a lot of different ways, so there's no right or wrong, but there is a key component is always showcasing personality. You can talk about product attributes and specific technical aspects of whatever your product is or whatever you're selling. But if you can do that in a way that has personality that people either get a surprise out of or want to engage with or just feel like they can relate to, that takes it to a deeper level of connection. You have to provide value though. Everything you do and everything that we are going to be doing from a experiential standpoint is providing value, whether that's to the consumers, to our customers, to exhibitors, to sponsors. As you're thinking about building events, you have to always over deliver on value. And that could be your customer service, that could be a deal you're giving, that could be a million different things. But always think about what value are you providing? Are you providing value in a way and with a personality that people can engage with? And are you truly showcasing and telling them how passionate you are about what you're trying to convey to them and what you're building for them? That makes a big difference. And all three of those things, passion, personality, providing value, leads to preference. That's where consumers really start to prefer your experience, your product, whatever it is that you're selling for them or connecting with them on. They prefer you over others, and that builds brand equity. And then the last thing is profit. That's what always comes last. If your passion, personality, providing value, and you've created preference, that leads to profit. That's where the payoff is. And as you start to think about events, it takes years to build community. It takes years to build up to that point to where you're really generating profit and creating the engagement you want. That could be online through a digital portal, that could be in your store, that could be at your event. But profit tends to come last after you've built all of this equity up with everything else that you're doing. So that really covers the P's. And I always try to keep this in mind in everything that we're doing, everything that we're building for consumers, because this really is that roadmap and that recipe for what you need to do to build lasting engagement and with your brand, with consumers.
Awesome. Yeah, Brian, that was great.
Yeah.
And you added another P without even recognizing it, but it was payoff, which is not currently
there we go.
The slide. So
Love that.
All right, great. So that brings us to our case studies. To me, this is the really exciting part. We're gonna kind of use examples that we think really exemplify everything we've talked about today, bringing all those learnings together. And so we're going to walk through the Do Tour, we're going to walk through ComplexCon, and then we're going to land on that vision for Snowbound, which I know we've referred to a few times today, but come along for the ride. Let's start with the Do Tour. So I'm sure many of you know the Do Tour. The Do Tour has really evolved into one of the top action sports platforms or events in the world. And I like to use the word evolved because there's a long history to the property. Basically, together with our partners and over the years, the Do Tour has had many iterations, and that's very intentional. Innovation has been really critical to the property's growth and success over the years, and we're really proud of that. So I'm gonna take you on a history lesson quickly to get to where we are today. But from 2005 to 2012, we would say that we were building the season or creating the regular season of action sports. And at that time, athletes really craved opportunities to compete and gain exposure. Fans craved more action sports content than was ever being offered. And so we answered with the Do Tour and building that season. Then we moved into what we deemed the majors model, where we really reinvented the property again as a competition, but with a focus on progression and quality. And we really embraced the core values of action sports. We upgraded courses. We added a very engaging festival, including hospitality. We invited endemic brands on site. We used a beach, mountain, city model to give each tentpole event a personality and branded it and messaged it as such. But today what I want to talk about, again, another iteration is the competition culture and creators model. And that's where we are today. And it's really about pushing the boundaries of action sports and embracing the lifestyle. And in this model, we've got 2 tentpole events with very innovative courses, formats, but we've really injected a healthy dose of lifestyle elements that's helped us increase brand engagement as well as broaden our reach. And again, taking a few cues from what we've been talking about today, we've also shifted from a live TV format to a digital first or digital format, forward format. And that helps us focus on an always on content strategy, giving consumers content the way they want to consume content. So if we go to the next slide, I'll go through some of the lifestyle elements that we brought to the Dew Tour. And I love this slide because there's a lot of green, of course, and we love Mountain Dew, but mostly because it really brings to life the experience that you get when you step, when you interact, I should say, with the Dew Tour, whether it's on site or online. And we continue to attract a young audience. We've tapped into a lot of the key elements that we've been talking about. So athletes, for example, they're the property's foundation. They're the real stars of the show. Obviously, culture is playing such a big role. It's a great way to connect. We've got nighttime music concerts, and sometimes those concerts are actually right on the competition courses. So when we talk about connectivity, there's a real connection there, a convergence. We've got art and art battles. And so art at the Dew Tour is not just a passive experience, it's interactive. Our whole visual system for the Dew Tour is typically in collaboration with an artist and creators in the action sports space, so that not only can you see it on site, you can see it online. The whole visual identity becomes a piece of art itself, and it's constantly changing. We also invite the industry in. I think that was one of the pillars of the triangle of success, but we invite the industry in by having their endemic teams come out and compete. They get a presence on site in the festival village, and then they also help us promote the event, again, broadening our reach to new audiences. And when the contest is over at the end of the day, we keep consumers engaged with all kinds of experiences in the evening. So award shows where snowboarding or skate films are honored. And so again, really showcasing the content that our consumers want to see. And it goes on and on. We've got influencers who we collaborate with on merch. Sometimes influencers are adding color commentary to, to the broadcast or to the content. They guest judge. Oftentimes, we're trying to inject them, again, to add some legitimacy to what we're doing. So as you can see, it's a multifaceted cultural experience. We've really been able to strengthen Dew Tour's position within the industry. We've built loyal followers, and we're connecting and engaging in many ways. So we're still going. Please join us as the Dew Tour continues.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're really excited. So I'll pass it to you, Bri. Tell us about the next event.
Yeah, I will. And Julie, I just want to say, what's so cool about the Dew Tour example is showcasing how much more the experience has become rather than just a competition, and how you're weaving that authenticity and that creativity throughout the entire experience and making it that multifaceted destination that captures so many elements of lifestyle. That's so critical and so key and so smart to building that brand engagement, and to doing it from an authentic place that showcases passion and provides all of those different convergent pieces of culture, lifestyle that bring in the consumers. So awesome example.
Yeah, awesome.
Cool. So I was trying to think of a variety. There was a ton of different examples that I think I could have used to showcase this, whether it was Star Wars Celebration or things that I was working on for Minecraft Festival in the video game world or pop culture world. But one of the shows that I was very lucky to play a small role in and work alongside the team on was ComplexCon. And the coolest thing about this event was that it really epitomized that convergence culture, to where everything that you love most about being on the internet is all together in one place, in real time, in your face, and you're able to engage with all of it. So ComplexCon was really positioned as an immersive experiential vision of the future and what's next. So it brought in food and music and art and lifestyle, really streetwear and sneaker culture, and so many different aspects of what the Complex brand was all about. If you were to go to their website, you'd be able to consume all of this content that taps into so many different aspects of culture and pop culture and convergence culture, and then bringing that all together under one roof so that it's everything that you love most about Complex, but experienced in real life, which was such a cool thing to see. And bringing that to that audience and those consumers in a very real sense, there was a host committee made up of a variety of opinion leaders, future thinkers, Pharrell, Murakami, so many people that contributed to the vision for what this event would be and what it would encompass, but always at the core coming from that authentic place about art and style and fashion and music and culture and all the things that an audience could engage with, and doing it in a way that was welcoming and inclusive. Like, there's something here for you. Even if this is, you're just into Murakami artwork, or you just want to see Pharrell perform on stage tonight, that's great, but you're going to get exposed to an entire world that maybe you would never see in some ways. Sneaker of the year, or you're catching a keynote with Gary Vee. All of these things were happening at ComplexCon, and it led to really this becoming this cultural Super Bowl, this cultural experience that people from all over the world would come together to celebrate for these 2 days, everything that they love most about that particular culture. So we had over 200 culture shifting brands in attendance, and there was a record 60,000 attendees and influencers, all very digitally savvy, all walking around capturing these shareable moments. If it was, anybody that was walking the show floor, everybody was taking photos, backdrops, experiencing everything that they love most, and walking around, engaging with brands, engaging with products, and sharing those moments online, which led to 5.6 billion media impressions over a 2-day event. That's pretty insane. And it shows you the impact whenever you're firing on all cylinders and you're bringing in all of these different elements and you're conveying passion and doing it with personality and you're providing that value to that audience. They will reward you and they will stick with you. And the event itself generated $25 million in retail sales. Another pretty staggering number whenever you think about how much commerce took place over 2 days once a year. And this also echoes, so much of what we want to do with the Snowbound festivals. And you can kind of see the model and the roadmap between the case study of ComplexCon and Dew Tour. And where we want to go, we want to build on that heritage of the beauty shows and what was present and what people think of from a ski show perspective and what they expect to get out of that. That will still be there, but we're going to take this to a whole different level to where it will become a premium, multi-sensory, immersive experience along the lines of that ComplexCon type of engagement, to where we're presenting a vision of what the future of the winter outdoor industry is really going to be, so that it becomes that cultural moment to where our industry can come together with consumers and celebrate everything that's coming for this season. It's about, the tagline for the show is going to be "Winter starts here." And there's going to be an official countdown. This is the kickoff of winter every year. This is a press opportunity. This is an opportunity for retailers and brands to come together and engage consumers in a very tangible, authentic way, face to face, so that we're celebrating everything we love most, whether that's products or athletes, from up and comers to legendary people, getting excited about going to your favorite resorts, maybe trying some new resorts that you've never been to. And this continues all year long through a digital website platform, and the content that we're going to be presenting on snowboundfest.com all year long will be anchored by the festivals, so that content you can experience then in person, but then the content that we're generating and the excitement we're generating in that exhibit hall at each of these festivals will be captured and then live online, either through live stream or after the fact from digital capture, so that people are also seeing the content that they can experience, and it becomes that sort of holistic environment to where you're just sharing content all year long, but then you come to the event, you'll get to see some of your favorite people on stage, you'll get to experience the brands in person. All of that content at the event will then live on the digital website, which will continue that engagement well beyond the festivals themselves. So that's really, in a nutshell, where we want to go and why. We couldn't be more excited about the opportunity. And just to break it down in a very real sense, it's about community and growing our community and growing participation and giving people a reason to be excited about winter and about products and about getting outside. And the Snowbound festivals themselves, it's where memories are made. It's about families coming together. It's about reuniting with your friends and other people and bringing new people into a world that you love, that maybe would never go skiing or snowboarding or get outside or get on snowshoes or fat tire biking, whatever it might be. It's that opportunity to bring your friends, to get them excited about things that you're excited about, and then share in that communal experience and build new friendships. At the core of what we do, that's what this is about. And we are extremely excited about where we're going and hope to see all of you at the Snowbound Festivals in 2021.
Yeah, but don't wait to join us then. You can join us now through social media channels, right? It's through Snowbound
Absolutely.
media channels to get
social media channels on the website. We've got content, original content every single week. And we're always here to answer any questions you have, both Julie and I. Happy to chime in. Hopefully you enjoyed some of the strategy and some of the things that we shared with you today.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. Like Brian said, reach out to us with any questions. We'd be happy to talk to you. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.